Rumors of unrest at Old Trafford. Stevie Nichols, Sebastian Salazar with you. Let's get into this. 19-year-old Marcus Rashford reportedly upset over a lack of playing time right now under Jose Mourinho. There are tons of talented players in front of him. As a teenager, how much right does he actually have just to be upset?
Listen, I would expect any professional that's not on the field to be wanting to play. On the other hand, there's ways about going about getting yourself on the field. And personally, I don't think this is coming from Rashford. In my opinion, this will be coming from his agent and all the other people around him. At the moment, Marcus Rashford, in my opinion, he's been dealt with fairly by Mourinho. I believe young players need to be brought along carefully. Because if you just throw a 19-year-old onto the field for such a big team like United, you know, you can kill them, you can drain them. He needs to play, yes, to get experience, but I think the time he's had on the field so far, he's absolutely going in the right direction.
So far this season, 10 starts, 10 appearances off the bench, 3 goals and 1 assist. How about a loan, an opportunity where he might get to play the 90?
No, not at all. This kid right now is good enough that he can contribute. He's just given us the numbers, and that tells you that. So why would Manchester United want to loan him out? I think he's on the right path, and he's playing the right amount of games for where his career is. He's still learning his trade. I'll tell you what, this kid could be fantastic. And if Mourinho looks after him the way he is right now, and his agent, and anybody else who wants to dig up some dirt, leave him alone. The kid's doing fine.
There is quite a logjam in front of him. Zlatan, Wayne Rooney, Jesse Lingard, Anthony Martial came on last weekend and was really, really good. Where does he fit in with that group?
I think no question further down the line, I would be surprised if he doesn't end up back where he started at centre forward. I think he plays wide because you have to play Ibra right at this minute in time. But again, I think that's only good for Rashford's game. It gives him a different perspective, but further down the line, for me, he's a centre forward.
People always pick at Jose Mourinho, and perhaps some of it is fair in terms of how he develops or maybe doesn't develop young players. Do you think some of this narrative is coming simply from that? People assume, young guy, Jose Mourinho, it's not working out.
Yes, I think definitely, regardless of what profession you have, you get pigeonholed, and no question, Mourinho's been pigeonholed as a guy who's not interested in young players. He's interested in experienced professionals that are going to win him titles and trophies. I think he's shown right now that he does know what he's doing with a young player. So, yeah, again, leave Jose alone as well.
Premier League might not be the place, but Europa League Thursday against Saint Etienne might be a good opportunity for Rashford. Let's start with the first big one here. I think this is probably the hottest off the press. Adrien Rabiot to Arsenal. Killed it against Barcelona the other day for PSG.
Why would he take a step down? I mean, let's be honest.
That's a shot.
Let's be honest. You know, Arsenal not contending for the title in the Premier League. Look as though they're going to struggle against Bayern Munich, particularly the form that Arsenal's in right now. PSG flying, Rabiot himself flying. Why does he go anywhere right at this minute in time? I don't see that happening whatsoever. All
right, so put it down as a miss. Correct. What about Alvaro Morata? He's victim to what a lot of guys at Real Madrid fall victim to. Too many good players in front of you.
I think this would be a great move for Chelsea. You know, they have Diego Costa, but after that, there's very little. Having Morata, I think, would just make them so strong, you know. For Morata personally, I'm not sure it's a good decision. He started at Real Madrid, didn't get a game, left because of it, went to Juventus, didn't start there all the time, ended up back at Madrid, he's not playing again. If this kid wants to play, then he shouldn't go to Chelsea. Right. So I don't see this happening because Morata, for me, has to play. That means it's a miss.
All right, another miss there. We've heard a lot of rumors. Maximiliano Allegri going from Juventus to Arsenal. Now potentially a move the other way. Alexis Sanchez to Juventus from North London.
This makes complete sense to me. Sanchez clearly isn't happy with what's happening at Arsenal. Arsenal are in a bit of a predicament. He'll have 12 months left on his contract after the summer. Arsenal have to cash in. It's going to be hard for them to replace him. But rather than lose him for nothing, I think he needs to go. And I think the place he goes to is Juventus.
All right, finally, the rumor that keeps on giving. Diego Costa, we've linked him to China, Atletico Madrid. The latest we can come up with, he's staying at Chelsea. How do you rate it?
I think he stays at Chelsea.
Really? he seems to be eternally unhappy.
According to who?
The press.
Listen, let me tell you something. You do not play the way this guy has been playing this season if you're unhappy.
Okay.
Yes, before the season started, there was talk, and he pretty much said he wanted to go back to Spain. But as I said, he's obviously getting on fine with Conte. Chelsea top of the league, look as though they're going to win the league. This guy's playing out his skin. You don't play out your skin if you're an unhappy camper. This guy stays.
All right, put it in the hit. There we are, 2 hits, 2 misses. The rumerator is satisfied. Stevie, the Bundesliga is holding on to its stars. The most recent report, Manuel Neuer was linked to Manchester City. He said, Pep Guardiola has my phone number, has not called. When you talk about potential replacements for Claudio Bravo, it would seem like Neuer's the perfect fit.
Yeah, and I think the connection that Guardiola and him have makes it even more likely. I think it would be great business for Manchester City, but you did start by saying that the Bundesliga are keeping hold of the stars. It's obviously good business for Bayern because, no question, Neuer's top 5 in the world. So if they keep him, they win. If they don't, City wins for me because that's the only other place I think he would go.
The one concern for me would be, if you're a City fan, you went out of your way to get this goalkeeper in Claudio Bravo who can play with his feet. You're kind of doing the same thing with Manuel Neuer, aren't you?
No. I would suggest that Manuel Neuer is as good with his hands as he is with his feet. That's not something we can say with Bravo. You know, part of Bravo's problem is he can't save a shot. Now, as good as he is with his feet, he can't save a shot. You can't say that about Manuel Neuer. This guy is agile. He covers his box well. I mean, he's the whole package. This guy was the best in the world at one time, and he's probably dropped terribly to around 2 or 3. So this guy's the whole package, Manuel Neuer. Different ball game to Bravo.
I think our buddy Shaka Hislop had him number 5 in his latest top 5 goalkeeper ranking. So
current form.
Yeah.
Current form.
Look, Bayern Munich has also held on to Thomas Müller. This despite, in 2015, a €100 million offer from Manchester United. That's a lot of money to turn down, even for a guy like Thomas Müller.
Do you believe that? Because I don't.
It was in the press.
Oh, it must be true. Listen, Thomas Müller is a fantastic player, but Thomas Müller's not close to 100 million. I'm sorry. And
even in today's market, where a guy like Paul Pogba's worth 100 million and Griezmann's worth 100 million.
No, he's not worth that. And actually, to be honest, regardless of any price tag, Thomas Müller is one of those guys that isn't going to play for anybody else. He's a John Terry at Chelsea. He's a Steven Gerrard at Liverpool. The guy is a Bayern Munich player today, and until the end of his season, I will be absolutely shocked if he doesn't finish with Bayern Munich.
From an overall perspective, right, 30,000 feet, do you think it's good for the Bundesliga to hold on to their stars and not kind of reach out and take that cash when it's available?
Well, obviously it's good for the league, but at the end of the day, I think that Bayern Munich are always fighting to be the top side in Europe. So where else do you go? You know, unless you're going to China or somewhere like that for a big payday, and you certainly aren't doing that in the prime of your career, then it makes no sense from a professional point of view for the players to leave Bayern, and obviously that means that the Bundesliga keeps its stars.
Yeah, there will certainly be suitors for those stars aplenty, but for now it looks like the Bundesliga is holding on to its very best.
Start with Anthony Martial, who scored against Watford. Is he going to Tottenham?
No. I think Martial has a long-term future at Manchester United, still only 21. They don't let him go. I'm sure Spurs would love to have him, but Manchester United do, and I don't think they let him go.
Some strange stories regarding Marcus Rashford, who only signed a new contract last year. He's now apparently stalling on a new deal, which would extend him beyond 2020. Is there any way he leaves Manchester United?
Again, no, for exactly the same reasons that I mentioned about Martial. Young, talented, far too valuable, especially long term, to let go. It makes no sense to let either of those two go for Manchester United.
Okay, a little bit of rumours in the papers doing the usual stirring. Sergio Aguero, in the light of Gabriel Jesus' injury, this story might have nonsense written all over it as well. Back to Atletico Madrid for Kun Aguero?
Well, I'll be honest. I have a feeling that Aguero will move on in the summer. And you just wonder who the likely clubs may be. Of course, linked to Real Madrid during the course of the season, during the course of the last couple of years, in all honesty. And you just wonder if that might be a better fit. I'm starting to question his age and whether that would put Real Madrid off. I return to Atletico Madrid. For right now, I'm going to put that down as a hit.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
I'm kind of on the fence, as you're probably sensing, Ross. But I'm going to put it on the hit side of my fence.
Even if he bangs in the goals towards the end of the season and somehow Pep Guardiola sees the light, he's told Aguero he can go whenever he wants, but Aguero wants to stay, maybe?
I'm keeping it as a hit.
Okay.
On the fence.
All right, happy with that. Andrea Belotti.
We need a fence, that's what we need. Weren't we talking about Belotti to who? Real Madrid just a couple of weeks ago? I put that down as a miss. I don't know. I still think Manchester United have a lot to figure out with Rashford and Martial and a couple others. I'm just not seeing this one. Not right now. I'm going to put that down as a miss.
Yeah, I think it's more likely that Belotti goes to one of the big boys in Italy as opposed to anywhere else at this stage. Doing very well, though. Let us know what you think. We've got 3 misses and a hit. Kun Aguero to leave Manchester City in the summer. That's Shaka's thoughts. Let us know at ESPN FC.
I'm a fence right there.